Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the third and final game of this Friday of week. Well, not of week one, but the third and final game of today of the Entities Campfire here. We have Team Oracle versus Team Rift. Ward for Team Oracle on the Mastermind. Nicholas, Cyber, Julia, and Draxi for Team Rift here. Julia now taking chase over on the 3 side of the map, dropping the seawall here. Has to play these check spots. No, instead running around the seawall very, very effectively here, trying to mind game the seawall. Unfortunately, Julia does take a very unfortunate tag here on the top side of the map. Needs to be very, very careful as she moves down over to the 5 side. Does not want to go down too fast as Julia is able to circumnavigate the Wesker here. Beautiful stuff from Julia, holding this check spot. Not going to get mind gamed at this 5 tile here. Moving over to the Ormond tile, dropping the pallet, pre-dropping it, making sure we are playing it very effectively. Can we actually make the pallet? No, we cannot. Very unfortunate stuff as Julia is going to go down over on the 5 side of the map here. However, the tripling of the 9 generator will possibly mean it gets done before a pain resonance. I don't think so. No, unfortunately, they're not able to quite get it done, and that is a triple. If the killer is attentive, they will know that that was a triple as well, but they're not actually heading over to the 9 tile. They're instead choosing to kick the tile over at 10. So this is a pretty decent start for even for the survivors here, because they already have good progress on the generators here. One generator does pop here. Survivors gonna need to be very, very careful here not to get found too early by our Wesker player here. As unfortunately, Cyber is gonna take a tag here. Is, however, going to make the window. Needs to be very, very careful here. 1 bound to use, 1 pallet dropped as well. Has to play 50-50s. Does actually, whoa, does not win it. And Cyber is unfortunately going to go down here as now it does look like Ward does want to go back to Hook here. Julia needs to play her chase very, very effectively, taking it over to Shack here. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Pre-dropping the Shack. And vaulting over the Shack is our Wesker player here. I think that was only 1 bound used, so it's very possible we could be seeing an early down here. No, it doesn't look like it. Does Julia make this pallet? She does. Revaulting yet again. Beautiful stuff from Julia as she is now able to circumnavigate the Wesker pallets now. Being broken over on the Shack side of the map. Julia has to be very, very careful. Can she go down here is the question. She is going to go down here. Very, very good stuff from Ward here, and Julia will be seeing her second hook, as we are seeing Draxi, the only person working a generator as a reset, had no choice but to actually come through. So very, very unfortunate stuff here. And now it does look as if we are, so Draxi is going to be working a generator. Nicholas is now going to be working his own generator here. Cyber going to be cleansing here. So there is some information here for Ward to know that the survivors, one survivor in particular, is not a generator. Draxi now running away from the generator that was being progressed just a little bit here. Now wants to head back over down towards Julia. It looks like it doesn't look like we're seeing a very early unhook here, and that could be for very good reason. And honestly, I agree with that decision, just because we don't want to give the killer a very easy tunnel out here. Nicholas needs to be very careful here, as Nicholas will actually be found here on this 5 tile. That comm will come through here, and Cyber will be the one going for this unhook, it looks like. Cyber is making his way down over to Julia, and it will happen here, but Draxi is getting some time on this pallet here, or on this generator. Continuing chase over on this 5 side of the map. Nicholas taking a very, very good chase at a throw will mean that Nicholas probably just goes down here. Very unfortunate stuff. However, Julia now getting unhooked, and Ward no longer wants to waste time. Instead wants to find Julia. Losing Julia would be awful here, and he knows it, so refinding her as quickly as we possibly can. 1 bound, 2 bound over to the 10 side of the map here. Cyber now actually going to be protecting Julia. Probably a very, very smart decision here. A tag coming through onto Cyber here. Julia now heading over to the main building. Has to play these 50-50s. Is choosing, however, to actually is going to win these here. Running this tile here. Does she actually win this? 1 bound and 2 bounds will unfortunately mean Julia lives. Now the question is this a god pallet? No, it's not, and Julia unfortunately has no choice but to run to the corner. Julia will be going down with 2 generators remaining. A very, very good attempt from Julia to win these 50s here, or to win this chase here. And it will mean 2 generators remaining here. Getting 5 done is very, very, very important. Ward a bit to play for here. Nicholas and Cyber both injured. Nicholas the one infected, however. And it looks like we're going to be seeing some resets coming through here. Yeah, resets are going to be coming through. And there is Nicholas now having to play this God Rock. 1 bound, 2 bound. Beautiful bounds here from Ward to actually get this down. Amazing, amazing stuff here. Pain Resonance coming through. And it is on that generator that was very low prog, so that is very good information here for our killer player. But it is unfortunately, that information does come at the cost of a Pain Resonance hook here. We're working back on the main building. This actually might be very, very smart here. Now Draxi could be working this main building generator, while Cyber could be stealthing for this unhook, you have to imagine. But the question is, did we actually see Cyber? We might have. I don't think we saw... We're looking for Cyber here, looking for a stealth, but it doesn't look like we're actually seeing it just yet. Cyber does get found. That is very unlucky stuff here. Canceling of power here. Now we're playing for a 4K1. And it does look like Cyber will be going down here. 1 bound, 2 bound to not quite end the chase. Now we have to play Z-Walls, but... not even gonna make the Z-Wall, it looks like, in Cyber will be going down. Now Draxi has no choice but to go for this unhook. He will make the unhook, but... and it won't be quite a trade, so that's very, very good here for our Survivor side. Oh, but Draxi unfortunately is gonna be going down here. Pallet safe not gonna land true. Ward's swinging through it just in case, however. And now Nicholas needs to go for this pickup onto Cyber. Will happen. 1 bound, 2 bound, however, get there very, very quickly. Vaulting through the window for Lithe here. Cyber is just dead. There is nothing that Cyber can make, unfortunately. Nicholas now running up to the top side of the map. We actually do see him. 1 bound, 2 bound to get to him as fast as possible. A 4K with 2 generators remaining. It looks like this will be. Continuing chase on the main building here. We do make this pallet here. We have to play 50s on this pallet, however. 1 bound, not gonna happen. 1 bound, 2 bound? Not quite. Nicholas actually playing this very effectively. That fire barrel saving his life a little bit. T and L walls now. Can Nicholas win these 50s? Wins that. Runs around, power coming up here. 1 bound, 2 bound, will mean a down. On to Nicholas and... well, you know, barring any miracle perk that we just simply don't allow here at the Entity's Campfire against the Mastermind. That will be a 4K with 2 generators remaining. Killer of Rift. All to play for here. It's a very, very tough win con. Cyber is no longer here. Cyber was crawling. It's very possible that he may have crawled into the basement here. No, he didn't. He crawled near the hook, but unfortunately he will be found here. That confirms that this is a 4K with 2 generators remaining. And when we come back, we will see Rift's answer to this result. Stay tuned. And we are back here at the Entity's campfire here, back on the Coal Tower. Cyber, this time on the killer. Cartney, Scroily, Ward, and Mersht here for the survivor side. Cyber already seeing scratch marks heading to the bottom side of the map here, but is that the death spot we want to be going? I guess that will depend on the gen spread that we have here. Cyber, or whoever this is taking chase over to the shack side. Actually, just make shack side. It's Ward as well. Ward making the shack pallet as well, which is very, very good here. Very, very good start. Meanwhile, Survivor's on the top side of the map, doubling and singling a generator here. Ward, unfortunately, will not. Will actually make window here. Great stuff here from Ward. Ward now heading over to the 5 side of the map. Circumnavigating Cyber's plays a little bit. Playing this pallet, but unfortunately does not win it. Drops the pallet at that as well. Very interesting interaction there as we're heading back over to the top side of the map here, wanting to go back over to the one side. And one bound, two bound will mean a down for Cyber. Beautiful, beautiful stuff here from Cyber. A pickup and a pain res is what we need. Preferably one in the middle area, and we actually do find one. This is actually the perfect pain resonant spot for Wesker, if you ask me. Maybe you'd like one a little bit lower down there, like maybe where he's looking right now, but having one there is definitely not the end of the world, as we are seeing Mersht, I'm getting it wrong already, heading down, and a very early unhook onto Ward as well. And now we want to tunnel. This is a very early unhook as well, so you have to assume the survivors are quite confident in their ability to take this chase. Slow vaulting through that window to save life. Very, very smart play from Ward here. Now, Ward is able to make this pallet here. Just simply gonna drop it, vaulting over the pallet. And Cyber could potentially get this down, but no, Cyber unfortunately is not able to quite get the down. Unfortunate stuff from Cyber. And a vault over the pallet means that Cyber probably has no choice but to break. Yeah, Cyber is going to break the pallet here. Continuing chase over on this top side of the map on the main building. Ward might have gotten a little bit lost as to where Cyber was for just a brief second here, as we're now forcing lock. Oh, that was an interesting interaction. Ward, however, will be dying on a pallet here. Is there someone here for the pallet save? There is! No way! Beautiful stuff here from Mersht. And Ward will be saved. Vaulting through the pallet. Good bound here from Cyber. Mersht will not be able to make this pallet, so amazing, amazing stuff from Cyber actually getting that down as Ward will be going on the second hook. However, if we look at the progress, that is 2 generators remaining. This is a very unfortunate situation here for Cyber, as he basically has no choice but to defend the generators now. He can't afford to cap this, because if they do, they'll just pop and win. So has to go and pop this generator and probably play for the best result we possibly can, as we see Scroily heading over to the top side of the map here. Just dropping that pallet, probably a smart play. One bound. Oh no, very unfortunate stuff. Scroily is able to force Cyber through the window here. As we do see Scroily here will be taking a throw as well. Now the question is, can you prevent Scroily from making anything thereafter? Possibly not fully if there's a pallet here. There is a pallet here. Very unfortunate stuff. And a doubling of the generator is happening. Is that a triple? No, that is a doubling of the generator, and that is eruption as well coming through. This topside generator will probably be completed unless a pain resonance can be found as early as possible. We have pain resonance right there. It's a race against the clock to see if the survivors can finish the generator before that pain resonance is reached. Is it going to be close? It is! And unfortunately not gonna happen. A very well-timed pain resonance. Now Ward going over to the bottom side of the map has to be very, very careful that Ward doesn't pop this generator, and it's very possible that he will. Back on that generator is Mersht. Mersht very, very close to popping it. This wind condition is very, very rough for Cyber. Has to go back over to that generator, has no choice but to see if it's gonna pop. It's very, very close, but is able to stop it just in time, forcing Mersht to leave now, kicking the generator for eruption. Ward back on the bottom side generator. Pop goes the Weasel, applying a little bit of pressure to it. However, it will all come down to whether or not we can stop this, get this chase to last no time at all. And because we're chasing a fresh hook survivor, or a healthy survivor as well, so it will probably definitely pop. We can't possibly commit to it. We have to go back down to check. And this top side generator now being completed. Back on the bottom side generator, both of these generators are about to pop, especially Ward getting the stun there, heading over to the 5 side of the map, vaulting through for life, and is going to make this 4 generator. And with that, because all 3 of the survivors are here, Mersh the only one on this generator, it will pop! Or Scroily, I apologize, but that was very, very well played from Team Oracle here. We just simply could not find yet another down. And that pallet save definitely helped out as well. In fact, I argue it was the thing. Going over for Courtney. Courtney is not yet injured, so now we're waiting. We want to try to get the grab, but we're not able to quite get it. Courtney's still infected, not even nearly fully infected, unfortunately. I don't think even a well-placed grab attack will help with this. We're just body blocking to make sure that the best result will not be had here. Throwing Courtney, wait, this could be possible. Okay, now we're throwing Mersht. Mersht is gonna get thrown here. But again, this doesn't matter all too much unless we throw him yet again. Another throw coming through, and this time it's a tag. Mersht could be dead here. Mersht is in fact dead here. Beautiful stuff here from Cyber to actually get this down. No, unfortunately you're not able to get the down onto Ward here. And it does look like we will be seeing a heal tech coming through. Now, as soon as Mersht gets picked back up, another heal tech will just be coming through here. So this is going to be very, very interesting. Holding power. One bound to confirm the down. And it does look like, yeah, now Mersht is going to be picked up here. Could be a hook onto Mersht here. Have to be careful. Scroily is in this lobby somewhere. The question is where? Scroily's over here. Okay. Now you do fear Scroily a little bit. However, you could probably just go for the pickup onto Ward. However, obviously we don't want to risk Scroily getting this save. So it's very possible we will actually... Yeah, we're just going to keep camping this. There's no way Scroily can possibly get this. So, camping this is probably definitely the right decision here. Scroily on another gate. Probably the smart play. And now we actually do know that that gate is being worked. So 1 bound, 2 bound could be all that is needed here. No, unfortunately, we're not quite able to get it, as all those survivors are going to be getting out here. And that is going to be, I believe, 5 stages for Cyber. Beautifully played by Team Oracle and very beautifully played by Rift as well. When we come back, we will be having the Deathslinger on the Suffocation Pit. This time it'll be Oracle killing first, so stay tuned for that. And we are back here, ladies and gentlemen, this time on the Suffocation Pit, this time with the Deathslinger, Cyber Eye on the Deathslinger, Cartney, Scroily, Mersht, and Ward here for the Survivor side of Oracle. Just currently we're looking for any sort of stealthing that we can possibly find. We don't quite find one. We do find one here in Cartney. Beautiful stuff here from Cyber, but a head-on play coming through into a flashbang as well from Ward. So very, very good stuff here from Team Oracle. But that is also a very, very good shot from Cyber, the FPS king himself, you have to imagine. Because what a Call of Duty, maybe some CSGO there, but Ward will be heading over to the 9 side of the map here, reloading to make that seawall. Wants to get a quick shot to prevent that, making that, but unfortunately isn't quite going to. Kicking the pallet here, just getting rid of this resource early on. One shot needs to land true here, but unfortunately it's just not quite going to happen here. Beautiful dodge here from Ward to actually make this pallet too. If your Ward is going to say, you might want to drop that. Getting that shot there will matter, but unfortunately it's just not going to land true. Cyber missing a couple of these shots here. And Ward heading over to the shack side, vaulting that window quick and quiet. We just heard it. Or rather, we didn't hear it. Holding the cross here, but we're not able to get the shot through the window. Very unfortunate stuff here. Cyber wanting to play these shots. Beautiful stuff here. Cyber is going to find it down onto Warder, but not before a generator pops. And you have to imagine one not far behind. Yeah, we are going to choose probably... Yeah, we are going to choose to take this slug here. We want this as quickly as possible. That might have wasted a lot more time than we would have wanted to care for that generator to pop. Because if this is a pain resonance, that would be very, very good. But the question is, do we make this pain resonance before that gen pop? Yeah, we do. Very, very close to popping it was. And it will mean that Cartney no longer convert this generator. Pop goes to be... No pop on it. However, having this hook here is good stuff here. Ward will now be getting unhooked, swinging through the pallet to confirm. We want to continue on for Ward here, and we do actually get a really good shot. Mersht is here, however, to take a protection hit for Ward. Beautiful stuff here from Mersht. At this point, the question now becomes if you can get the shot through the window, and you can. Beautiful stuff here from Cyber. However, that generator will be popping for the trouble. Scroily on the top side of the map here, working a generator as well, however, and that will pop. Wards, however, is going to be taken onto his second hook. You have a bit. I don't think you even have a 3-gen bottom anymore. This is a very tough position for Cyber because I don't think there's anything for him to defend on this side of the map. Yeah, no, this is not a 3-gen, so this death is going to be very, very important. Cyber has, or not Cyber, Ward has to die here. If Ward doesn't die, that's going to be very, very unfortunate stuff. Cyber patrolling to see if we can find a savior. Doesn't look like we're actually finding one just yet, so Cyber's going to head back over to the unhook here. This death is going to matter a lot. We see someone working on the far generator just over there, but that could be very much on purpose, as someone I presume is going to be stealthing for this unhook very quickly. And yep, there is Cartney coming in for the unhook. Now, the thing is, you can't go for that, because if you do, then they're just going to pop the generators here. So the point is here, you have to play suppressions. Scroily now going to be taking the chain here, dragging him as far corner as possible to make sure he's not able to make anything. And that will be the case unless he's able to make this pallet. It does look like he will be able to make this pallet. Yeah, beautiful duck here from Scroily to make main window. Scroily playing that very, very well. A shot needs to land true, but it's just not landing true here. Mersht on a generator, Cartney on a generator. Very, very good stuff here from Team Oracle, as we are seeing a hit onto Ward. Injures all around, but not a down to be seen. What do they say? Water, water everywhere, not a drop to drink! But this time it looks like we will be having a drop to drink, as Mersht will be going down, and that is a pain resonance hook as well. You need to be very, very careful about this gen popping. A shot there would have been very, very nice to have landed true, but it just doesn't, unfortunately. Someone is coming in for the flashy save. And the question is, does Cartney come in for this in time? No, Cartney does not unfortunately make this. But it's here for a fast pull, it looks like. And that will be Pain Resonance onto Scoily. And that is also an unlucky skill check, and it down onto this topside generator as well. That's beautiful. Oh my goodness, that could mean a lot of good things here for Cyber. As a flashy save is not going to come through here. Back on the generator. No, off the generator is Cartney. Can't afford it. That is not a Pain Resonance, as that is a death on hook. But a generator on the bottom side of the map does pop here. Now the Cyber is going to have to be playing for some sort of reset here. Having this death on this top side generator with the most progress is actually very, very good for Cyber, but he has to make sure to capitalize on it the best as he possibly can. All survivors are on the bottom side of the map, except for Cartney, who is stealthing for this top side generator. Cartney, most likely what we're going to be seeing here is Cartney's not going to push this generator until the resets are actually able to come through. Just because we want to be able to have that pressure, right? We're stealthing to see if we can find Cartney, but it doesn't look like we're actually able to. Oh god. Hot and cold we're playing. Can Cyber find Cartney? No! Cyber unfortunately will not find Cartney. Finding Cartney there would have been crucial, and we actually do find Cartney, the sprint burst player, heading over towards the TNL or the Z-wall, vaulting through the Z-wall, will unfortunately get mind gamed at it. Playing around the seawall here. A shot comes through on to Cartney. That is beautiful. Cyber, or Scoily and Merst now playing this bottom side generator here. Playing for the pickup onto Cartney. A Pain Resonance coming through would be good. I don't think it would hit the generator that they're currently on, but having it on this hill will mean some good things for Cyber Eye. Pain Resonance coming through, not landing on the topside generator, but that is maybe that is a good thing, because that means that generator is now dead, and so you can focus on what is happening at the bottom side here. If you can find a survivor lurking around, that would be amazing. You see Scoily, but you don't see Merst anywhere, so kicking this generator for Eruption. Merst going for the unhook right now, sending it. And yeah, you maybe the play here is to go for Scoily. No, you're heading back over to the top side of the map here because you need to get a very early down in order to make Eruption have any value here. Pain Resonance has killed that one generator, which is very, very good if you are Cyber, but not if you can't capitalize. And a beautiful capitalization there, in fact, is from Cyber, the CSGO player himself. Rainbow Six Siege has taught you well, my friend. A pickup at the main building will mean that that generator is not going to pop just yet. However, still dangerous progress. And now Merst is stealthing for this unhook. Scoily continuing to work this generator. Is going to stealth off of it a little bit. Doesn't want to get found. Merst is going for the unhook now. And this is the kind of pressure that you want. Having this unhook here means that there isn't really much Cyber can do, but possibly play for Scoily. I mean, I think the play here is to go for Scoily, just because it will mean that you have a little bit of pressure on this bottom side generator. But we do have to keep in mind that they're probably going to be pressuring, yeah, they're pressuring this top side generator, doubling it in fact. So Scoily going to be keeping it down on this bottom side here. Oh, an unfortunate shot not landing through there. Cyber needs to get this down, needs to get it yesterday, but even if he does, it needs to be now, because if it's not now, they're just going to pop that generator. And unfortunately, we still haven't even gotten an injury yet, so it's very, very likely we're going to be seeing that generator popping over on the top side of the map. But still, even if it does, that will be a very respectable result here for Team Rift. The question is, can we actually get this down? We're heading over to the top side of the map. I don't mind dropping that pallet and playing around it a little bit. We do see Cyber there. Ooh, very unlucky shot not coming through here, and that generator does in fact pop adrenaline onto Cartney. And we're actually playing the gates now. Ooh, we win the 50. Beautiful, beautiful stuff here from Cyber, picking up the survivor here. That is a fresh hook as well, so this is actually looking to be a decent result here for Cyber. I believe that will be 6, 7, 8 stages if Scoily dies on this hook. If not, though, still, in my opinion, respectable. I mean, 6 stages is not bad. I could be wrong, actually. I think I am wrong. I think it's 7. I think it's currently at 7. I think the current result is 7 stages. So if Scroily actually dies on this hook, that will be a 9-stage result. And it looks like the survivors of Oracle want to accept it. Yeah, I think the survivors of Oracle are choosing to accept this result. Yeah, we are choosing to accept this result. So GG's to Cyber there. That is going to be 3, 6, 7, 8, I believe 9 stages. A 2K with 9 stages. Very good result here from Cyber. I will see how Rift survivors are able to answer that. Stay tuned. We are back with set number 2, game number 2 of set number 2, to be specific, with Ward from Team Oracle, this time on the Deathslinger versus Team Rifts. Nicholas, Cyber, I, Draxi, and Ninjas. Heading over to the water tower. Wanting to see if we can find an early survivor, but we're stealthing right now. If cross can happen, that would actually be very, very good for the survivors of Team Rift, because that means they'd be able to start a generator decently early on here, as we're continuing to stealth at the bottom side of the map here. Beautiful stuff here. Ninjas is currently waiting. Ninjas is going to get found here on the bottom side of the map, and a beautiful tag over the water tower here from Ward. That was impressive. Ninjas is now going to have no choice but to drop the shack pallet here, wanting to hide from the wrath of the Deathslinger here. Maybe if you're Ward, you are. Yeah, you're going through the window. Unfortunately, you're not able to make the pallet. Very unfortunate stuff here, vaulting through that window there. And that will be agitation as well. Into the basement we go. We are now probably going to see a 3 split here in a second. Yeah, the survivors are continuing to pressure out these generators on the top side of the map. It's likely Ninjas is dead. I don't think there's anything that Rift is going to, one, be able to do, or two, want to do about Ninjas in that basement, because if they do, it means that any sort of pressure that they could possibly accumulate from this death is just gonna go bye-bye. So they are going to probably be sticking on these generators. Maybe, just maybe, we can pull if we are smart. But right now, I don't think we're too interested in doing that. Right now, we're just kind of walking around to see if we can find any stealthing survivor, as a generator on the top side of the map will actually pop here. Cyber now going to be going over to the A side of the map. Draxi heading over to the left side of the map, 3 side, maybe to do another generator. Cyber now has to be very, very careful. Wants to pressure this unhook, doesn't want to get found under any circumstances. Kindred is actually a perk that we're seeing right now, by the way. Very, very interestingly enough. I'm actually surprised we're actually seeing Kindred here, but I can actually see why it would be useful, especially maybe on a killer like Deathslinger, where the terror radius isn't too large, and you want to be very, very certain where they are, especially when you're getting an unhook like that. Ninja's going second. We actually see scratch marks here on the 9 tile, trying to find, I believe this is Cyber. We're going to kick that generator as well. Is Draxi actually able to get this unhook? I believe so, but a tag onto Cyber to follow suit. Very unfortunate stuff, as Draxi will actually get this tag. Not being committed to, though, as we want to head back over to the basement. Yeah, there is... Oh, Life needs to come through. Beautiful, beautiful dodge from Ninjas to prevent Life, or to prevent himself from going down in this bottom side again. Wants to head over to the top side of the map. Taking chase on this top side of the map is imperative, as we are seeing a down onto Ninjas. A beautiful shot here from Ward. And that will be a death at 3 gens remaining, very unfortunately. A pain residence to sue. Any pressure that Rift has needs to be reaccumulated by this chase from Cyber on this top side. However, it doesn't look like the Deathslingers could be too interested in even bothering to chase that. Honestly, I don't disagree with that play. Chasing that means moving away from your generators, and it means that the survivors of Rift are going to be able to get some pressure here. So, definitely probably a smart play to head back over to the bottom side. We know this is being worked. We're aiming down sights, seeing if we can find a survivor, but we're not actually seeing anyone just yet. Nicholas is stealthing, making sure we don't get found. Cyber is also just working a topside generator here. Draxi is actually rotating to the top side. Nicholas is wanting to make sure that we do not get found until these resets are able to come through here. So getting this reset is going to be very, very important. Stealthing in the basement is what Ward is asking, and the answer, obviously, that we can give him, and the survivors can give him, is no. But we're now heading over to the bottom right side of the map here, trying to see if we can, seeing if we can find Nicholas stealthing. Nicholas doing a very, very good job at not being found here, and they're actually doubling out this topside generator, which I think is definitely the smart play. They have to be very, very careful. Nicholas, again, is still just stealthing. We are not pushing generators. We're not doing anything of the sort. The point is that we want to make the Deathslinger confused as to where we could possibly be. And if we could even force... Oh, no. Nicholas does unfortunately get found here, peeking his head outside of the rock, having to drop this God Pallet. Now has to play 50-50s. Unfortunately, will take a tag here from Ward. Beautiful shot. And Nicholas will be taking an injury as well. Heading over to the right side of the map, but unfortunately won't be making anything. Has no choice but to loop around this rock. And here's Draxi here to help take a tag. Maybe get Nicholas a little bit away. Again, this is a chase here. Champion of the Light and the Blind could help a little bit, but unfortunately it's just not going to. And Nicholas will be going down here on this bottom side. Not where you need to find a down. As we are now going back over to the basement here, Cyber and Draxi pressuring their own generators here, have no choice but to do exactly that. We're playing for the best result we possibly can. I believe that is now 4 stages on the map here for Ward here. But with all this pressure that he has, I think he's in a very, very comfortable position. There is the Deathslinger, Ward, checking the 8 generator, kitting it as well. Heading back over to the, heading over to the hill. And now we're heading over back to the side of the map that Draxi's on here. Kindred and... I think that's Kindred and Open-Handed is actually what is giving him all this aura reading, which is actually very, very interesting. Definitely not the perk combo that you expect to see in competitive Dead by Daylight, but it's also something that is very unique, so I'm quite happy about it. In fact, seeing it is honestly, the aura reading from it is not bad. Aura Open-Handed, specifically Open-Handed, is giving him a lot more aura reading than you'd expect. As Cyber now taking chase on the bottom side of the map, needs to dodge these chains, does actually do so. Beautiful dodge here from Cyber. Needs to play this God Rock, actually is able to dodge the next chain from Ward here. Has to play 50-50s. Unfortunately, is not quite able to drop that pallet. You have to imagine a bit of ping. The ping difference there might have messed Cyber up a little bit, but still, that is some good pressure here to allow Draxi to maybe pop, unless it's Pain Resonance. It is Pain Resonance, so Draxi unfortunately will not be quite popping that generator. Now we're heading over to the 8 side of the map here. Cyber's on hook. Nicholas needs to be very, very careful here, not getting found. Nicholas does actually get found, so now Draxi gonna have to go down for the unhook. No, actually, it looks like the killer is not heading for the play, or not for the kill, actually. It's just wanting to camp this hook out, because this is a very, very good position here for Ward. Now we're pressuring Shaq. Getting gen pressure here is, again, the generator pressure isn't the problem here. It's just a matter of the fact that we cannot afford to be going down in these 3 gens. Very unfortunate stuff here for Team Rift. They just unfortunately found themselves in very rough positions, but still camping out this hook. As we are seeing a chase onto Nicholas and a tag at that, a down on this hook here. And we know where Draxi is. Draxi is simply going to be running. Now the question is, do we actually continue for the chase? It looks like we are in fact continuing for the chase here, so this is going to be the final chase of not just the trial, but I believe of today's sets here. As Draxi going down here will mean that Team Oracle will have taken the sets. Will have taken both the set and the game. Balanced landing coming through. A shot not quite going to land true. Draxi needs to make it down to the bottom side of the map to keep his team up. But look how close the Deathslinger is towards him on his tail. Check spotting to make sure. We need to get to this pallet and drop it, but we're not quite able to do so. And that is a down on to a Draxi with a 4K, 2 generators remaining result. This game is going to Team Oracle. Very well played to both teams this game. Very respectable results put up in today's matches. Nicholas now going on the hook, and with that, that does in fact confirm it. Before we end off today, I want to give a huge shout out to the event that we're having on Sunday. We are hosting a wonderful, wonderful showcase where we are going to be showing various individuals in competitive scene who want to bring it to the table with what they have and want to, you know, really get scouted for a really good team. So if you are someone who is looking for some new competitive players, whether that be sub roster, main roster, whatever you're looking for, different various killer players, survivor players, whatever have you, please check us out on Sunday. That is going to be a very, very, very important event for some of these players, and also very important event for prospective teams. So please do check that out. It's going to be on Sunday at I believe 3 p.m. EST. So do check that out. But with that, thank you everyone for coming to the final match of day 1 of week 1. We hope to see you all tomorrow with some more exciting games. Stay tuned for that. Goodbye.